Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by the Era Crueltide Pocket Rulebook Kickstarter. In this tabletop RPG, Santa Claus has been captured, and you need to rescue him role-playing as any sort of fantasy creature imaginable. You could be a human with holiday powers, perhaps one of Santa's helpers, an elf, maybe a talking reindeer, or perhaps a gingerbread cookie golem. It's up to you to restore the holiday cheer and check out those stretch goals. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have also released the Pay What You Want tabletop RPG Daughters of Lamb, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website, of course. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products, and check out their free tabletop RPG, the Red Roleplaying Game, a generic system that is able to handle any sort of theme, genre, flavor, setting that you can think of. Definitely check it out. The link will be in the description and in the pinned comment as well. All of the links for these amazing products will be there. Today, I continue my review series featuring the DarkEnergy Core Rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of this review series featuring this high fantasy and high-tech tabletop RPG, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about character creation. There are a total of 7 steps to follow and an optional step. The optional step is related to vampirism and war disease. Step 1 is choosing a race. Well, I would rather say the species. Here it says, your race is the species of the creature that you are. A species is not the same as a race. We are of the human species in real life, and we have various races. So, for simplicity's sake, I would refer to it as race in this game, but it's actually the species. They are very different amongst each other. So, you choose your species or race, you choose your background, which gives you talents and skills. Your species also adds talents. And then you choose your class, which also contains a repertoire of primary talents and skills. Then you finalize these talents, you add them all together. You have negative and positive values depending on your choices. Next, you determine your proficiencies. This is also related to your class, your background, and your race. Then you buy your equipment. You choose your faith or philosophy. And then, this is the optional step, vampires and war disease. This does not apply unless you are within those archetypes. Now, when it comes to talents, they measure your ability to perform certain tasks and how proficient you are in those areas. Each of the creature's talents has a modifier, a number that defines the magnitude of that talent. Positive numbers are added to the dice rolls and negative numbers are subtracted. Every talent starts at 0 at the beginning, but this is modified. The primary talents are Arcana, Agility, Intelligence, Might, Nature, Personality, Spiritual, and Vitality. They are pretty self-explanatory. For example, in the case of Might, this is about melee weapon attacks, but it also concerns saves. In the case of Nature, this is spellcasting and skills related to nature. Now there is the concept of talent fade. Talent fade reduces the relevant talent modifier. Modify all skills and statistics related to that talent. This might cause you to lose hit points and other bonuses. In the case of Vitality, for example, a faded talent can be healed through the use of spells and medical tools. There is also disadvantage and advantage. When you have advantage, you roll 2 20-sided dice and you take the best result. In the case of disadvantage, you roll 2 20-sided dice as well, but you take the worst result. Characters have a proficiency bonus determined by their current level. The bonus is used on talent checks, saving throws, and attack rolls. A character that is proficient in a talent will gain the proficiency bonus on top of any other bonuses they have to that talent. When it comes to talent checks, this is very simple. You roll a d20 and add the relevant talent modifiers, and perhaps some other conditional or context-based modifiers. You compare this to a number, which is the difficulty class. If the total equals or exceeds this number, the talent check is a success. If not, it's a failure. When it comes to contests, the highest result wins when two characters are facing off against each other. There could be some flat checks related to luck. You just roll a d20 and compare the result to the difficulty class. You can also support or help other characters. In combat, this requires the help action. Usually this means that the one who initiated the task or that has the highest talent modifier makes the roll, but with advantage because of the support or help that character is receiving. Concerning defense, depending on the armor you wear, you might add some or all of your agility talent to your defense. Concerning initiative, at the beginning of every combat round, you roll initiative. At the beginning of every combat, you roll initiative by making an agility check plus any bonuses to initiative. Initiative determines the order of combat. When it comes to saves, also called saving throws, they represent an attempt to resist a spell, trap, or condition. So you roll your d20 and add the appropriate talent. This could be modified by situational bonuses or penalties. There is a huge talent list when it comes to the secondary talents, such as science, craft runes, demolitions, disable device, survival, streetwise. You also determine your character's size. As you can see on the image, there are some very noticeable differences in size, but that makes for some very fun situations. Large characters, of course, are usually sturdier, stronger, but they don't fit everywhere, and because of their size, they won't find the necessary equipment that applies to their size in most situations. It's not impossible to get it, but it's going to be a bit more difficult. When it comes to smaller characters, and I guess you could say it depends on the place, right? If you're in a city of giants, it's going to be easier there. When it comes to smaller characters, this is a bit like the opposite, or even tiny characters. You're usually not very sturdy, and in the case of tiny characters, you will get into some difficult situations. Trying to attack the enemy, you need to really get into the enemy's face, into the space, but you have the advantage of being a bit more defensive. It's harder for the enemy to hit you because of your size, and you will be able to go into some very small areas, niches, nooks and crannies that other characters will find inaccessible. You also determine your height, your weight, and your age, depending on your species. And this concludes this part of the review series. In the next part, we are going to talk about the races. But like I said, these are more like species, but races for simplicity's sake. I really like the character creation system. At first you think, oh, it's the typical D20 Dungeons and Dragons type of character generation, but no, here you don't have the attributes. It's all about the talents. So you need to get adjusted to that. Don't confuse this with Dungeons and Dragons. This is considerably different in various aspects. It is still a D20 based system, but there are some traditions, some traditions that are pushed aside or ignored in order to handle things differently. Thank you for watching this part of the review series. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master, and remember, in tabletop role-playing games, you're not telling stories about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.